Welcome back to WiER, also known as What If Earth Restarted. Pretty weird, I know. What am I doing? Shit. So we are going to be doing another video. Shit, I forgot to edit the map a little bit, but I'll do that in a second. But if I do, I'll talk actually. It's probably smarter. New video, yeah, okay. Basically, what I have planned here is kind of cool, and I like it. So, instead of having this massive wall, I'm just gonna have a bunch of mini walls span over and make it act like one full wall when it's not. You can clearly tell it's not, but it's gonna look like it's supposed to be one big wall. You know, it's like it looks like it's supposed to be one big wall. Anyway, it's gonna be happening in Africa. There's literally like no countries in Africa, and you can sense that with your spidey sense. So I have not updated the African map in forever. It's still back with first with that little fucking hangover thing. Hangover? What the fuck? Just gotta fix this map for like 5 seconds. Yeah, like, anyway, yeah, I think I said this. I'm very sure. Pretty sure I said this last episode. So yeah, let's get into it. Yeah. So first things first is born in Sahara, Sahel, right? Yeah, we do good. Well, they're gonna explore a little bit more into it, but they're not really gonna get much in there. So eventually they stop. Of course, eventually, the fucking, what's their name again? Seven Dosa. They explore a little bit more. Wow, it's like, Tanzania, Mozambique. They're pretty far down. Shit, I forgot these guys are still in the public. Oh, fuck. I've not updated. Oh, fucking hell. I've not updated the African map in a while. Yeah, these guys are gonna get a lot of war, so you ready? Sorry. Let's get into it. Okay, no, let's actually get into it. Right. So basically, these guys have a pretty bland history. They are about to become main rivals. Remember that? From that one YouTube video. Anyone remember that? Like, main rivals. Yeah. Fuck. Piss. Yeah. So anyway. Basically, they have a bit of a land disagreement. Basically, 13 hectares still quite a lot of the land that these guys want. So when these guys move into here, and then they take this land, let me show you. They take this. This is the border that we've got. Basically, what happens is they go down and they see like, oh hey, this seems useful. So they take this, and right as well over there to come up and pat down their flags and shit. They realize shit, 7 Dose already owns this. You wanna know what they do? They fucking take it, and not like the bits that they actually need to take. No, they take like 2 provinces. The really ugly ones. And they don't like that, so they declare war. Yes, over a petty land agreement can easily be solved. Now, let me just now obviously 13 reactors did not anticipate this. So, they're going to get a little bit clapped, and also they are significantly weaker than 7 Dosa. But see, for some reason, they just go in a little bit, and then a peace treaty is solved instantly. And it's just the most ugliest shit ever. I mean, it could be uglier. Trust me, it definitely can, but it's pretty ugly. Like, who wants this at their border? I mean, this is what we're dealing with here. That is That is a cool anger. Urgh. 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 Obviously it's not too much of a deal, but then obviously 13 Actis is like mainly a coastal empire, so I don't think they really give a shit too much. So yeah, when they are like, I'm so a dick to me, I'm gonna be a dick to them, and they just steal our whole 3 provinces from their ass. Like they just straight up try to take it. There's no war or anything. So they get into another war, but this time 13 Actis is prepared. And I actually do kind of, wow, actually. Yeah, it was kind of unexpected. They thought they'd be weaker, but no. Really not. So they moved down into, Sudanese and Eritrean and Ethiopian. Yeah, Sudanese, Ethiopian, and Eritrean territory. North of all of them. And there's all of that. I guess that could be classed as Northern Sudan. Obviously they, move in a little bit further. They're really good at attacking. They can't get the capital though. That's one thing that they just can't take. And eventually, I mean, it gets sold anyway. But like, there's quite a lot of fighting with quite a lot of deaths from each side. And at the end of it, they kind of just take some land. They're left fucking 7 doses left of a bunch of Ethiopia. They're just Ethiopia at this point, but their capital's in fucking Djibouti. Like, no joke. Like, they were around. Let me get my mouse. There we go. They had around occupied these 3 provinces as well, but they did take them. And they kind of didn't know why, but now they kind of just one-shot them. And obviously these guys want more access to the south. So you wanna know what they do? They kind of just move a bunch of people through, like a bunch. It's not just like 1 or 2 divisions. It's like a bunch. They basically get a bunch, like 10 fucking troop divisions, kind of move into the country. And they don't occupy anything because, wow, they kind of just take it. Thank you. It's mine now. It's mine. Yeah, sorry, bro. Unlucky. Unlucky. And it's like, they take forever, by the way. So anyway, you coming here often? Yeah, me too. So yeah, they're just quite like halfway through, but they can't go in or else they'll get fucking obliterated. Like, these are all 10 divisions. They're not gonna get that many divisions at a time. Right? So they just kind of like just get a bunch of weak ass divisions and like make a massive order of 10 divisions to block them. They're simply like, oh, so you don't do it. Oh, that's completely no. They declare war. Yeah, they declare war. Off the bat, they already lose like a bunch of fucking areas because they're so ass and like troop management. But yeah, they lose a lot of fucking people. But eventually, it's just stalemated. It's just stalemated. Like, there's no movement whatsoever. Obviously, they occupy the areas that eventually they're like, all right, peace. They're like, yeah, but I want land, and they're like, oh, I also want land. So they kind of just swap seas. And this You like zoom out a little bit more. Yeah. Right. This is the border we're left with, and see, they kind of like want all that land down here in the south, and that where all the troops are. And obviously, 7 doses will be like, all right, bye, I'm out, and just disband all their troops. They're like, I don't need it. Wanna know what these guys do? They conquer a bunch of this empty territory over here, and just kind of fucking they kind of just take it. They're like, okay then, let's go then. They're like, nah, I don't want to go. So they don't go. So they very much stay. And they kind of just take a bunch of land to be like, yeah, well, we're better. And it's all they're taking all this land so they can protect the sacred lake. They will blow up any ship, anything that you try to do to that fucking random ass lake thing, pond, whatever. You will get blown up. You'll get blown up. What the fuck? God. It's like a course from so many wars. Jesus Christ. War speedrun. And obviously they're like, oh, okay then. I guess so. And now, remember, when they first existed, they were just like fucking. They were just Cairo. Remember that? And now they're all the way fucking down here, like over here in fucking Libya. Like, oh my god, obviously they're kind of like pissed off. So you wanna know what they do? Instead of resolving it like, yo, could you leave these lands? No. They enter like a bunch of the territory, and then just kind of fucking disown a bunch of it. And what do I mean by disown? I mean like kind of just don't claim it as theirs, but they keep like a little bit of it. One fucking region. Not two. Like they keep like 3 regions, and that's about it. Actually, 13X is a bit pissed, so they take this back. Instead of declaring war, they just kind of go in like a cycle of taking and getting rid of, and then like it's so stupid. It's like these guys fucking hate each other, but like it's the most goofiest way they can do possibly. Obviously, eventually they get pissed off enough that they declare war, and I'm not even gonna show the fucking war. Like, it's so in the total of this, well, enough like. By the way, this is happening while First Tree is kind of like getting, like, jumping everyone. This is happening while that's happening. And it's so stupid. Like, they could be doing something else entirely to help progress society. Now they're just being stupid. And, while they're in this big massive war, there's a total of 12 wars that happen. And it's so stupid that everyone else just considers it as, like, one great war with a bunch of like armistices or some shit. The last peace treaty is like really fucking ugly. Like it really is, and there's no actual fucking winner. There's no actual winner. It's just really stupid. So having the worst border war in history. So yeah. Yeah, it's just really stupid. It's really all I have to say. It's fucking stupid. There's no reason for this to exist. And, like, this is what we're looking at. Stage 4 Balkan Gore. Like, it's really ugly. As you can clearly tell. Like, they don't really care, though, do they? They don't really give a shit. Like, they don't have a reason why they should give a shit. So they kind of just like, alright, you take that, I'll take this. Seems fair enough. It's fucking enough. No one even lives there. It's wow. It's like just stupid. So yeah, eventually there is one last war, which does make the borders a tiny bit better, but like not too much changes. All right, don't expect massively improved, like fucking yeah, massively improved fucking yeah. It does ultimately look better, obviously. Um, it's not any better though. It's not any better. So yeah, that happened. That just happened. We can't do anything about it. So yeah, after that big calamity that was happening in that area in general, I don't even know how I'm gonna do it on here. Like it's just so stupid it is. I can't even read fucking how I. Good. Okay then. I'll be back in a minute. So this is the best I could do. Any thoughts? They're okay. So that's the best I could do. Obviously, there's this random piece down here, but remember, they have explored more than just fucking. No fucking way. Do they? Oh yeah, New Zealand's a tiny bit, but not too much to put on a map, on the Asian map, you know? Okay, now I'm just gonna fix that. Fucking be right back again. Shit. So yep, there we are. Yippee! So now, time to get to the big thing that we actually all care about. You ready? Cause I sure am. Cause it's very fab. No, okay, fair enough. Right. So, let's go over to the magical place of fun and fantasy and whatever. Because now we're dealing with Mega War. I think I've done a Mega War in a bit, or even have done a Mega War. I think the last big war was first year getting jumped, then jumping everyone else. I think that was it. Can't really remember, but it don't matter. I think that should be it. Right. Anyway, so obviously tensions between Fadondra and Tengalik are not really too golden. Not really too golden, you know. So you wanna know what they do? They settle it out with a good old brawl. Good old brawl. It'd be funny. You know, you're welcome. You may laugh. Go on then. Laugh. I'm waiting. You're not done laughing? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Not done? Then, oh, wait. So, it actually isn't between Tengalik and Fedondra. It's actually between, Firstria and Favoria. It's actually, stupid out of the war doesn't even start because of Fedondra. Tengalik. They've decided, hey, we don't want to do anything, but you do anything and you're done for, mate. Understood? Understood. So yeah, war starts out between fucking Firstria and Favoria. And see, they don't even get involved at first. You know? They're just kind of there. And then they get involved. So it's technically the first World War, but not really. It's just the first cool war. So yeah, they don't move any troops from over here because the battles actually can be over here because they can't do it over here because that's on foreign territory. So yeah, it's just kind of shit war. It's kind of fucking shit. Of course, First Reason will be winning in like basically every area except for the bottom. They're just not winning over here. So yeah, they kind of just decided, wait, hold on, we can just make a defensive line. So that's what they do. Fucking idiots. Do these guys even know how to stop fucking first year? You never do that. It's fucking stupid. My So yeah, they basically just made a defensive line, and nothing really happens. Yeah, that is it. That is basically it. First trio moves into the territory. They make a defensive line, and then there's no movement. No fucking movement. Yeah. Alright. Then there's Ator. Ator knows that there's kind of like a peace treaty going on, so they can't attack for a bit, but who says they can't attack? First year, we'll just beat them up. So they talk to good old 12 and they're like, I guess I could help. Ooh. So fucking disappointed in myself. Of course, before they do this, they have to, take more of Europe. Because who doesn't like doing that? I know I love taking over Europe. You guys, I don't know, maybe not. But me, I sure do. So, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's just what they fucking do. So once again, they continue doing the division of Europe, Now, actually, the funny thing is that fucking Ator is basically at the max. Sorry. They can't go any further without going on around their territory. Of course, there's like Italy, but who the fuck can't take over Italy? That's like easy. So they're allowed to go around, and that's what they do. They go around. They go around and they kind of just take a bunch of France. So yeah. Of course, they do discover a little bit more of them. You could say less, like, I guess, less mountainous regions, So that's what they do, but there's still like a massive wall, of course, Right. So they basically already gotten their divided Europe. Funny thing is, they don't count Scandinavia really as Europe. They count it as Asia. I mean Scandinavia, I mean like the Nordic countries, like Sweden, Norway, Finland, Copenhagen. Yeah, Copenhagen. It's not classed as Europe, so if Denmark does come around, that means they're gonna have they're gonna be a multi-continental fucking country, which is really cool. Yeah. Alright, anyway, let's go back over fucking Asia. Yeah. These guys are pretty confused, but eventually like, alright, we need to fight over here. So they fight. And Fedon and fucking Tinglik aren't even the main fighters. They don't even fight that fucking much. It's mainly first year and Tinglik that are fighting a lot. Because, they're kind of like really OP. The way the fucking areas were set up, Verdondra and Tinglik don't even sort out most of their fucking beef. I know. Wild. It's fucking wild. So yeah, they kind of basically all just moved down south. With obviously Verdondra and Verstria being like the strongest ones there, and they're both on the same team. So yeah, fuck. By the way, they're all gonna be put under the Tinglik or Verdondra, because if we put them as like all different, then that'd be really confusing. I don't want to be confused. or you guys be confused. Probably mainly me. So yeah. So as we there we go. As we can see from here, Manchuria or Manchukuo, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Manchuria or whatever, is obviously a lot weaker. They're all really weak, but give me a sec here. Like, wait, the quality's going like lower. The quality's low. So yeah, this they've kind of. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. All right. I am not putting. I'm just gonna have one called the United Front 1 and the other one called United Front 2, and they're gonna get replaced later. It's gonna be different colors. Front. Alright, give me a sec. Alright, boom. United Front 1 and 2. United Front 2 is the attacker. 1 is the defender. Of course, over here with first year against Euphoria, but I guess fucking 15er, is not going to be a united front because for first year sending support over to Verdandra because they don't like Tango, because they mainly just don't like Euphoria, and they probably don't like Euphoria's allies, which is not like 15 or 16 off Co. Weird name I gave them, I know. So they're probably also gonna hate Tango, like 10 testicles. Alright, so they're gonna hate testicle land. I guess tentacles, because that's like tentacles, testicles. So anyway, so first year goes. So first year now in a war over here. Obviously over there, that's gonna be pretty complicated. You know, obviously they thought of this before, but you know, they thought it was just gonna be between them, and like they'd have a peace treaty. Means they have to like, I guess like they would have to deal with this front. I guess never thought it'd be like war if these guys started fighting each other. So they kind of like lock in and like take all of Persia. Yeah, they just have all of Persia. Boom, done. They make a defensive front and like never move ever again. Like it's really that simple. Come on, guys. Do you guys like not know war or something? Fucking idiots. Come on, guys. Use your brains. Brainstorm. Anyway, so this basically being a stalemate, because you know first year wants it to be a stalemate, or first year wants, first year gets. that's the dealio. So United Front 1 has a genius idea. They move through the mountains. They have all these forces over here that they don't really need to be defending over here because it's not really useful. So you wanna know what they do? They go through the mountains. When the wind comes tomorrow, better bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sunshine. Tomorrow. So they kind of just like move through, and honestly, none of them expected this guy to have the technology to go through here. So they obviously keep some guys over here defending, but they spread them out evenly. These guys are not going to be like, alright, yeah, we can do that, unless you're first year. Yeah, unless you're first year, these guys kind of just take it and like, go and like help defend over here, because they're not going to go through a bunch of mountains to like get nowhere. And see, Tinglik and Euphoria knew that, so they just kind of like, that's why they had less troops guarding that front. But they don't know first year. So while all these guys split off, first year did the unthinkable. They gathered a bunch of troops up, and they they went through the mountains. And that completely collapses the front. They push through with a bunch of troops over here not knowing about that. They just get absolutely decimated. Like, absolutely wrecked. There's no hope. No hope. First Year gets what First Year wants. And you know, obviously, they didn't know this was gonna happen. Only the First Year troops, and they were told not to say anything that it to the people that want First Year blood, you know. So yeah. Obviously the Uniteds won front again, but First Year's not letting them have it. Instead, they're just allowed to pack through. Instead, they kind of like want this, I guess, colony. So that's why they have this little bit of territory rather than it being, you know, the United Front territory. Really stupid, I know. I guess they want, like, I don't know what they're gonna get out of this colony though. It's kind of shit. I guess to monitor China. But they were hoping, but they have to win first, of course. And with First Year only being like all the way over here, and like a bunch of their shit being blown up from Forforia, less stuff is going over. Less stuff is going through here, and of course they have that camp. Like supplies is going from what is it called again? First Year to that fucking camp for it to then go to that front. So yeah, that means this has to be reinforced by Fedondra, which is more focusing over here because it's not moving. Over here is like the most important area. They don't really care much about this. It's like no one's living there, so why would they care about it? So they basically just got this random mass territory defending. They're not even defending that wow because they don't care about it. Like the only reason why it's still there because they just don't really give a shit about this. First, just wants it so they can keep an eye on fucking Tingley in the future, but they have to win first. It's not looking very likely. So when they want, they're like, hold on, we can use this to our advantage now. So they bulk up a bunch of troops and push through. And see, these guys don't have defensive troops over here. These guys did, just in case. So what happens instead is now they've basically just got this massive, like fucking massive. We're completely liberated and controlled by fucking Tinglik now. Like, it's fucking amazing how they did this so well. And like even the United Front is glazing their ass. So like, wow, that's strong. They even have troops over here in the fucking mountain area, just in case. Like, fuck me. They just kind of like, fuck. So they set up another defensive front in Fedondra. But obviously it's going to be really weak. Because it has to like go around the United Front. Right? You know, United Front 1. So, yeah. They've messed up. They've goofed up. That the thing that was supposed to help them ended up ruining them. Like, that's wild. And, you know, obviously, they're not very happy with First Year right now. Shocker, I know. What, they're not happy with me? Why? I made a massive goal that would really help us. But they got us some stupid desert. That's about it. Right now, that doesn't matter. Because we've got barely any fucking occupation in there. So what are we gonna do? You know what makes matters worse? Eventually they even get kicked out and they make even more land gains over there. Yeah, it's just not a good day. Not a good day to be for Dondrin or First Year. Eventually First Year's like, alright, I need to think about this. What can I do? They're like, alright, so obviously I'm big forking your plans. They agree. So, let me out. Let me just take what I've got. I'll be on my way. They think, and they're like, sure, I guess. I don't really give a shit. They're actually kind of happy. Yo, wait, that worked. Let's go. I'm the greatest country in the world. Yeah, fuck you, Fedondra. So it's no longer the United Front 2. That it's just Fedondra, bro. It's just Fedondra. Of course, WiER isn't. Well, I guess 15 off and WiER aren't really happy about this. Then again, choice in this. It's just getting rid of a really big player which could mess you up later on, so they have to move their capital to somewhere else. Obviously, it's something pissed about it, but hey, it's not that much. We can deal with it. Of course, the fucking 4-4s are smaller now. They're smaller in land now. Fuck. Shit. No, I do not condone discrimination or racism in this house. Better leave now, or else I guess I'll touch you. I don't fucking know. Just give me an idea for a punishment. Anyway, so this United Front thing is going pretty well, and eventually they're like, alright, stop. Let's talk. Let's talk. So, they sit down and they talk. And the peace deal is not whatsoever in their favor. I mean, shocker. I know. Fuck. They've got a bunch of land which really ruins up their, I guess, dominance. Dominance. Yeah. I'm funny, guys. I'm just such a jokester. Such a jokester. Some of it isn't really valuable, but a lot of it is. Like, mainly the coast area. And it's kind of like the first war Fedondra's actually lost. And they've been in quite a few wars by now. And this makes a really powerful thing, which is basically just China. It's just China. It's just fucking China. So, might as well make it China. Like I said, part 10. Right. And they decide to control this newly found mountain area. Just so no one can fuck about them ever again. Obviously, now Fedondra has sour relations with everyone now. They have sour relations with First Year, Teenov, 16th Cove, WiER, and Tengalik. Because of all the betrayal, of all the breakaways, of all the wars. They go into isolationism. They're done. Obviously, they take a little bit more land from Russia to make with that great land loss, with a bunch of people even moving out of China. I mean a bunch, I mean not too many. Come on, guys. It's not that great of a nation, let's be honest. So, a bunch of people are moving out. These guys are sick and tired. What happens now? Tell you what, pretty sure Fedondra's in Europe. That's right. Fedondra is now able to appear on the European map. Let's see. No, yeah, they're in there. Fedondra's in there, don't worry. Funny thing is though, they're in there by one province, so I'm gonna push them back a little bit. So we could wait for them so they can have like a big expansion. Then they can. You're fully welcome then after that. But no, sorry, can't do that right now. Then try again later. I cannot fulfill this request. So what's happened so far in this great episode? 30 minutes now. Crap. Bunch of wars in Africa. A total of what? 12, technically 13. Big war between Fedondra, Euphoria, 15 off, 16 off code, Tinglik, and first year. With Fedondra being the loser. Yeah, not first year, Fedondra. Just Fedondra, not Fedondra in first year, because first year didn't technically lose. They got out pretty early and technically won. But you guys can decide if you guys have to decide. So yeah, from now on, Dodge's cool first year draw, I guess. The workers first year draw. So yeah, that is all. I've been stalling this war for long enough. Thank you, and that is a bye. Goodbye.